Another question from Brother Burhan. He says that last night a friend of his said that there is a hadith in Abu Dawood where Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, ordered the people to offer 20 rak'ah. While in Muwatta al-Imam Malik, there is another hadith where Umar himself ordered them to offer 11 rak'ah, and that is during Taraweeh. So he wants a clarification. First of all, the Sunnah is compiled of hadiths. And these hadiths have two main pillars. The chain of narrations, or the chain of narrators, and the hadith itself. And the scholars of this great science, which no other religion has this science, they scrutinize and they look very carefully to both pillars of the hadith, the chain of narrators, and they look at each and every one of them. If not proven to be trustworthy, righteous, knowledgeable, capable of remembering, never lied at all, if not having these characteristics, they reject his hadith. Even if the hadith was sound and looked good, but because the chain of narrators who conveyed this hadith to us had this one individual who was not trustworthy, or he lied once, or he was not righteous, or he did not pray Fajr in the masjid, or he had an innovation here or there, in this case, they would reject his hadith. And the second pillar is the context of the hadith itself. And they look into the content and the context and the text itself, and they analyze it. And then they judge the hadith. So, the chain of narrators is very crucial and essential to judge over a hadith, whether it's authentic or not. And that is why those who do not have knowledge in this science would hear any hadith coming from anywhere, and they would not know whether it's authentic or not. Only the scholars of this science are able to say, okay, first of all, the hadith, does it have a chain of narrators? So many hadiths on the internet being sent through millions of emails to people and from people, and they say, the Prophet said so and so and so. What's the reference? Nobody knows. Where is the chain of narrators? Nobody knows. This is an unaccepted methodology. The minute you see such a hadith, ignore it and delete it. Like we mentioned yesterday, a brother is asking about washing the back of the neck. And he quoted a clip of a video. And this is following a certain school of thought, and they teach you how to pray and how to perform wudu. And there is a narration at the bottom telling you the reference. So it says that this hadith is in Abu Dawood and it's authentic, and it's not authentic. It is fabricated. This is what the Shafi'i said, this is what the Nawawi said, Abdullah ibn Mubarak, Sufyan al-Thawri, etc. And then it says that Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, the compiler of Fath al-Bari, which is a commentary on Sahih al-Bukhari, one of the greatest scholars of Islam, it says that in his book, At-Talkhis al-Habir, At-Talkhis al-Habir, the beautiful summarization, he said that this hadith is authentic. When I referred back to it, it is fabricated. He is saying that it is fabricated. So the problem is with people lying to convince people with what they are saying and doing. Therefore, don't believe any hadith until you look at the reference, until you check this issue. In this point, Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, in one narration, ordered them to pray 11. In another narration, ordered them to pray 23. Ibn Taymiyyah, may Allah have mercy on his soul, clarified this easily. And he said that 11 was at the beginning, when he asked Ubay ibn Ka'ab, may Allah be pleased with him, to lead the congregation in Taraweeh. This is what the Prophet used to do, alayhi salatu wasalam. But after a while, they got really tired. Because you know that the Prophet ﷺ, per one rak'ah, he could pray chapter 2, 3, and 4. Surah Al-Baqarah, Al-Imran, and Al-Nisa. And this is a lot. Not a lot of people can tolerate this. So when he saw this, he then instructed Ubay ibn Ka'ab to make it into 23. So whether it's 11 or 23 or even 39, because people of Medina, all of this is authentic. The people of Medina, some of them, when the people of Mecca started to pray 23 rak'ahs, they thought that they are offering Taraweeh, night prayer, and they also have the Kaaba to offer tawaf as many as they want. They increased their portion of Taraweeh into 39. 36 as normal shafa' and 3 rak'ahs for witr. All of this is acceptable. And we always recommend and give preference to 11, just to be on the safe side. But whoever adds to that and he says, no, I would like to pray 23, he has basis. And we say, okay, you are doing the right thing. Umar, may Allah be pleased with him, and the companions used to do this. And the majority of the schools of thought say that this is acceptable. However, if someone restricted himself, limited his vision by saying that, no, you cannot recite more than, you cannot read or pray less than 23. Some school of thoughts, not the original schools of thought, but those who followed them from the modern scholars of such school of thought, say that if you pray less than 20 rak'ahs in Taraweeh, this is not acceptable. This is ignorance. Because the Prophet himself, ﷺ, prayed 11 rak'ahs. So you cannot limit it and say you do not pray more than 11, because the Prophet ﷺ did not limit it. He used to do this, but he did not say do not exceed that. And you cannot say you cannot pray less than 20 rak'ah, and the Prophet himself used to pray 11 rak'ah.